Hi everybody, it's Lavinia. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, this is the second part to using the water-soluble graphite pencils to draw and paint out this rose. This is a picture of a rose that I took from my garden, and then on my camera or my phone, I changed it to black and white and printed it out. So this is a value scale sort of drawing and painting, but I am using the Faber-Castell graphite aquarelle. These are range, I think, from the HB all the way to 8B. So the 8B is the darkest, which I used here in certain areas, and I took some artistic license in this photo. So rather than having these leaves and that background, I just used the 8B to make that background here. And in the other video, I showed you where I did use water to dissolve. This was the HB and this was the 8B, just to give you an idea of that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, let's start with the background. So I have, this is the watercolor brush. It's a number 6 that came with the kit, with the pencil kit. So just going to tap this brush here in water, just take a little bit off here. And so let's start with the background. Let's start up here. So as you can see, it pretty much dissolves. This is the first layer. And just going to take some more water here. So again, it's the first layer. I will be going back, depending how dark I want the area to be. I may go back and add additional layers. I'm just grabbing more water. And it really dissolves nicely. In this first layer, you may see some brush strokes, but as I add more layers on top, that will eventually fill in and be a nice, smooth background. All right, so that's one there. And let's move on over to this side. I really like these pencils. I have in my Amazon cart a set of pencils that range from, and they're thicker, they range from 8B, I think it's 8B, 10B, and 12B, only because I have it in my cart in my wish list, sort of. I just want to see if I can get as dark as a background as I can with these pencils, or if I want darker values for that. So just very easy and simple. Again, if you wanted to follow along, I do have this on my community page, the initial sketch, where you can print that out or copy it yourself onto watercolor paper. And, follow along. Or if you want to use it as a coloring page or as a watercolor, use your own watercolors to do that, you are more than welcome to use it. And this turns matte. So when I hold this against the light, you can see a little bit of that sheen of, normal graphite, but once you add water, it does become matte. Okay, so that's the background there for now. And I'm going to start now with this section here. So I am going to again pay attention to the reference photo compared to where I have this here. So this is the darkest area here. Some areas I did leave, for example, here white, but I will take what's loaded on the brush and then just make that a lighter tone. So I don't have to always put the graphite if I don't want to, if I know that I'm going to be bringing that over. But I do want to work section by section. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm here right now. This area right here is this. I'm getting into the lighter area. This might have been this area here. I may have used the 2B pencil. Just so it's a little bit lighter. When I go over this again with pencil, once this is dry, you won't see that harsh line. Even though here there is a little bit, but I'll probably go over in this section here with a little bit of a darker pencil. But right now I'm just getting, this is really just the initial wash for the rose. Okay. So let's start here with this section, which is right here. If you have these pencils, let me know in the comment section what you think of them, how you've used them, what paintings you've done. If you don't have them and you're thinking of getting them, you know, that too. Let me know in the comment section if you think that this might be something that you might want to try. And now I'm just going to use what I have here on my brush and just bring it along to the edge here where it's just a little bit lighter. Again, nothing is going to be left pure white on this, in this drawing, in this painting, because there is nothing that's pure white. This was not a white rose, it was a pink rose. So now I'm going to do this section here, which is right here. Again, with that darker value. So it's just laying the initial foundation. And you see it gets lighter. So this was a combination of maybe 6B, 4B. Like in these areas here, I probably use my 4B pencil. Here, I may have used my 6B. Here, the 8B, just where it's darker. But what's nice, again, it's just the initial foundation and you can go darker. You do want to make sure that this dries before you add additional pencil because it can ruin your paper. You can also use your pencil, sort of like what you would do maybe with watercolor pencils. You can dab it on here if you want to. You can put this on paper, watercolor paper. I wouldn't use it on here, and use that as a little palette to bring it to your drawing. You would not want to dip the pencil though in water because again it is graphite, so that has a chance of actually going up the barrel of the pencil and actually ruining the pencil, ruining the graphite. So that is something you would not want to do, which is do not dip it in your water, but you could bring your watercolor brush to the pencil if you wanted to and do that. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue here. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this. And once that dries, then I will come back and we'll add additional layers. But that's pretty much what I'm going to continue doing here. I could probably do the whole video of this if you wanted to watch it. Let me know in the comment section if that's something that you prefer. I know some YouTubers speed up their videos. That I rather just do it real time, so that's why I just might pause the video and then just continue. But if it's something that you do want to see, if you would like to see real time, where I'm actually continuing on doing this, then just go ahead and let me know in the comment section. If there's another type of drawing that you would like to see me do with these graphite pencils, there's really not a lot out on YouTube, because when I got these, I saw one YouTuber had done something, and I thought that was great. That's why I bought them. But there's really not a lot out there, or at least subject matters that folks have done that interest me. So if there is something that you are interested in and would like to see me use these pencils, let me know in the comment section. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I will continue wetting the background for the next layers. And I thought I would just show you here in this area, which is this area here. I had left it white, but I'm just going to go ahead and dip my brush and then just come here to this edge and bring it down. So that's what I mean is by you don't always have to put the pencil on the white paper. You can use what's left over on your brush and use that for some of your lighter shades. Okay, so again, just going to continue on, and I'll be back. I'm working my way down the flower here. So this is this area here. Sometimes what I like to do with the reference photo is just put my finger at the point that I'm at, just so I can keep track of that. To avoid harsh lines, you do want to keep your brush moving, but as I mentioned, this is the first layer. Again, I did pretty much use all my brush or all my pencils, my pencil ranges, and the way I geared it is, for example, the lighter areas, I probably would have used the HB or the 2B. If there was somewhere in between, I probably might have used my 4B. It's better to use the lighter pencil because, again, you can build up the layers. So here, for example, where you see this harsh line here, once I put more pencil on there for the second or third layer, you know, you can go to as many layers as you want. Just going to blend that out. That would be this edge here. Here's this darker section. What's nice about this, one of the characteristics of the graphite pencils is that unlike watercolor pencil, once it's down on the paper, if you re-wet it, it does not necessarily move like watercolor. It pretty much stays almost put. It's not necessarily like the Derwent Inktense, if any of you have used those pencils, where they really don't move. This has a little bit of lifting, but not much, but definitely not like watercolor. Okay, so moving on to here. These are just so much fun, especially if you wanted to maybe try drawing or watercolor. I think this is fun, especially if you're for example, this is a rose. If you miss a petal or mess up a shadow or something like that, it's not going to be that much of a big deal because, you know, it's something in nature. Like the background here, I decided to omit the leaves and I made it my own. If you wanted to add petals, maybe add a bee, you know, you can do that too. No one's going to say, oh, that bee wasn't there. Make your own interpretation. So here I'm just taking what was on the paper and just moving it into that lighter area. All right, so just going to go ahead and continue on here. All right, so I'm coming towards the end of this as far as for making sure all the graphite that has been down has been watered down, and areas that are still white, I'm just going to pull some of that graphite into it. It's part of the border. If you need to move your drawing as you're painting, you know, do what's comfortable for you. Okay, a little bit more of a white area here, so I do want to touch that. You could use a hairdryer to speed up the drying process, which I may do. This way it'll lay flatter quicker. Just like that. All right, so I think I'm done there. And because it has a sheen, one way to tell if you have touched upon all parts is you can tilt it to the light and see. Now, just because these are water-soluble pencils, it doesn't mean that you cannot use them as regular pencils or regular drawing pencils. So, for example, if I want to use it on top of an area that I've already wet down and just want to leave it without putting the water brush or water to it, of course, you can do that. You don't always have to use the water brush and melt it down. I call it melted down, but so I'm going to go ahead and get my hair dryer, but I think I will go ahead and stop the video here. And the next video, I will go ahead and add more pencil layers. And so I will see you then. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. If there's other topics that you would like to see me use these pencils, let me know. I would like to maybe try a cat. I have to see, but I may use just regular charcoal for drawing stormy weather or Kyrie. All right, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.